Morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela, and I've got questions for you. What opens with Doc Heavenly getting some advice from her daughter, Alora, and what closes with Doc Simone and Mr. Cecil getting some advice, some real counseling from a counselor. Dr. Ken, is that his name? If you guys Married to Medicine Season 5, Episode 3, let's throw a fitney, then you're correct. Thank you so much for clicking on the channel and sticking around to see how we get from opening to closing. I am Angela, and the channel is Be Fabulous You. Let us proceed. So we got Toya with the babies and her daddy. We got a little montage going on. Then we got Quad working out with her dyed-haired dog. Then we got Chloe and with her, we got Quad working out with her dog. Her dog's hair is dyed, and the dog's name is Chloe, and she's saying body by Jesus, presented by Quad. I was like, okay, girl. Then we see Dr. Jackie at work, hugging a little baby. That's so sweet. Then we see Doc Contessa arriving at Toya's. And basically that whole scene was designed to more firmly establish the fact that there is some tension between Dr. Heavenly and Contessa, which we saw kind of start off at last episode. So there's some drama, tension, whatever. So Doc Contessa is not really a fan of Heavenly. And then we switch over to Doc Heavenly, and she is asking for advice from her daughter Alora, explaining the situation to her. And Alora, and she's telling the girl that the woman's name is Croon Tessa, I thought, but I think she was saying Coon Tessa instead of Countessa. So that's kind of shady. She mispronouncing the woman's name. She know that woman's name ain't no Coon Tessa. Dr. Heavenly. Sometimes your jokes go too far. And then we see Dr. Contessa, and she like, your name, I guess speaking of names, she like, your name is Heavenly. Why you acting like a demon? And she like, I served in the military for 5 years, and you meet all kinds of people. You deal with all kinds of people. So then we see back to Heavenly and Alora, and they are cracking up. Alora said, you might have a hard time making new friends because sometimes you are abrasive. And Heavenly is like, I thought I told you not to say that shit to me no more. And I'm like, but then they just cracking up. So I guess she cussed at her daughter, or cuss a little bit with her daughter, and that's just the nature of their relationship. Alora knew it was a joke, and they got their whole little system down. So if they like it, I love it. The child don't seem to be traumatized by it. So anyway, okay. So then we got Toya, and she's like, saying ever since I met Heavenly until today, she has been the same. She's very boisterous, and she's telling Dr. Contessa this. You basically have to get to know her, and then you can decide if you like her or not. Miss Bella, what is going on over there? Chillax, relax yourself, go to your space, leave that alone, whatever it is, I don't know. So that's that. And then we got Heavenly, and she's kind of presented the issue to her daughter Alora as if Toya is the issue, and that maybe Toya is telling people not to like Heavenly, or that Heavenly is an issue or something like that. And so Alora says that she would confront Toya, not in a rude way, so that's kind of what Doc Heavenly says she gonna do. She is gonna do that anyway. Alora's room is at her bedroom. Because she in the bed, it looks like a grown-up space. It doesn't look like a little girl space. It looked like my auntie's place or something. Okay, but anyway, we see Quad and Doc Hubby, her husband, what's his name, and there's a bit of tension. He wants her to come by the office, maybe decorate, manage the office, clean the office, be the receptionist, keep the air freshener levels balanced. I'm not quite sure what he's asking her, and Quad feels that she's busy and does not and does a lot for him and his business, and she has stuff to do. Like, okay, you need me to deposit the checks, okay, I'll deposit the the checks. You know, she got to go to do the change of address today for him. And I don't know what she's doing for her business. She does have the television show now, I guess. You know, I don't know if she did at the time that they were taping, but, you know, she might have been in meetings. She working on a cookbook. I don't know what she got, the dog company. I don't know what else she does. But, you know, we see her lugging clothes, a basket full of clothes. I don't know if they fake clothes, but she got to wash clothes, keep the dishes, keep the house look like it's in good condition. I don't think she has any help, you know, to manage that, and that's a job. You know, so anyway, and he feels that she does not do as much for him as she feels that she does. That's what he says in the interview. And she's like, oh, okay. So I think she doesn't agree with him on that and doesn't, you know, Quad can't remember the last time that her husband told her thank you. She said, in fact, he doesn't. He just goes to work. And I'm kind of like, ugh. You know, some people express their love and say thank you by things like going to work. So maybe he feel like because he works hard and brings in a good income that that's his way of saying thank you. I'm not really sure, you know, but that sounds kind of like an issue. Because if their love language is different, if she ain't receiving that as appreciation and thanks, and that's what he intended it as, and it seemed like it's a problem. We're at Dr. Jackie's office. She's scheduling a Fitney event. That's Fit is the new It. That's I shouldn't say her little company, but that's one of her companies, one of her endeavors. And her staffer brings in a Swarovski bag, and it's like a crystal diamond shaped, you know, diamond cut paperweight or whatever. And we find out that Curtis is sending her gifts, you know, every day. I don't know if they're living together. We don't really know what's going on with their relationship exactly. But he's sending her gifts every day. And she says that, I guess she had mentioned to him something about how the basketball player Kobe gave his wife a 4-carat ring when he cheated on her. So, you know, maybe that was his version of a 4-carat ring. And, you know, she kind of jokes and kind of smiles, but it's like it ain't really that funny to her. And she says that Jackie Jackie says that Curtis can't buy his way out of this one. No. So I forget what Curtis does for a living. What does he do for a living? It's not her money that I shouldn't say her money, because if they're married, you know, depending on what they have worked out. But I hope it's not money that she's earned that he's using to buy gifts to her. You know, anyway, I don't know. I just kind of, I don't know what. I hope that he has a viable income of his own that he has been contributing to the household. And then this is their 15th year. This would have been their 15th year anniversary. And then we see a Louis Vuitton bag arrive and flowers and a card. I'm not sure if this is all on the same day or if this is over the course of days. And she's looking at the card, and, you know, her staff is kind of like, well, how you feel, what you think? And she's kind of like, you know, these gifts don't really change my pain. You know, the divorce is still down in the courthouse pending, we find out. And I was thinking earlier when she was with the baby, you know, she could adopt now. She wanted to adopt before, but her husband wasn't really open to that. And she says that if it doesn't work out with him, she's not really interested or planning to get married again, which, you know, of course, she's still in the process of being married now, so she ain't really thinking about the next thing. She's still trying to heal and deal with this, but she probably might be in a good place to adopt or foster children and have the love and the space to do that. And that was something he wasn't interested in, and that she honored since they were married. But anyway, Dr. Jackie notes, and, you know, and she really hates that she missed the signs of his cheating. And Dr. Jackie says she's deciding if a divorce or forgiveness is good for her, either a divorce or forgiveness. She don't know. And I'm like, girl, you can do both. You can divorce him and forgive him. I mean, you could divorce him, you could forgive him, you could divorce him and forgive him, or you could not divorce him and not forgive him. That's not healthy. But, you know, any of those three might be healthy options for you. Just because you're divorced doesn't mean you don't forgive somebody or that you hate them. Then we see Simone and her youngest son, Mike. They're out for yogurt. He says he likes his ice cream and his women vanilla. And I'm kind of like, first of all, you too young to have women or a woman. You're a boy, so you have girls. Second of all, I was like, don't you like chocolate? Your mama is chocolate. But she made the comment and kept it moving, which is all you can do. You can't control, you know, who somebody is attracted to or what they doing. But they end up, they end up talking about his brother leaving, and he like, between me and you, just between me and you, as the cameras are rolling, I'm gonna cry when he leaves. You know, that's a little cute. That's a little charismatic boy. He's cute. And then Doc Simone follows up with the text message that he had sent her about asking if she and Daddy Cecil were divorcing. And Mike says that he is worried, and he tells Doc Simone that he and his brother Miles have had conversations about it. The state of Doc Simone and Mr. Cecil's marital union. And Baby Boy also explains that when he was younger, he would cry when they argued, so that they would know that it wasn't just them in the marriage. It was larger than just the two of them. And she felt that that was kind of manipulative. I don't know if it was or it wasn't, but, you know, it's not just the two of them in the marriage. You know, Simone explains that they are trying to figure out if they're going to stay together or not. And Mike is like, well, if you break up, I have to decide where to be. I have to choose sides, where I'm going to live primarily, and that's not fair. And it's kind of like, you know, she kind of talks to him, but it's kind of like she's really grown and mature in how she handles the situation from what we can observe on the TV. I was quite impressed. And it's some serious stuff. This is some real talk they having on the TV, and I think they're handling it very well. A lot of these women in these relationships are very impressive, and I think I'm getting more impressed with them as time goes on, as we see them as real people and as quality people, as opposed to people who are trying to pretend to be something that they're not, or trying to present a front of, you know, oh, I'm rich, you know, I don't know. They just seem like real people more and more. So I appreciate that. And then we see Dr. Contessa, and she's got 3 babies. And there's an older black woman who's her nanny. She's been a doctor for 13 years. She's a primary care physician. And Miss Renee is her nanny. And Miss Renee is like, what's happening here? What you mean? I'm feeding these children hot dogs. That's what was in the fridge. What have I been doing all day? I've been taking care of business and what a nanny is supposed to do. I wash clothes, and you know, and then the nanny, we find out, is an R&B singer's mom. I didn't recognize R&B singers. And then her hubby comes in. Her husband is a doctor too. Come on now, look at this. A black family, black children, black nanny. I love that. That was beautiful. They're all together. They doing the thing. And they've been married for 12 years. We see Toya and Toya's daddy. And, oh my gosh, we find out that Toya's mom, according to Toya, because the story changes later on with the daddy, but according to Toya, Toya's mom caught Toya's dad sleeping with Toya's mom's best friend at that time in her house. And that's how come they got a divorce when Toya was 7. And Toya is talking to her dad about her, now maybe one time a month. Last episode, she was having sex with her husband once or twice a month. Now when she's talking to her husband, it's maybe once a month. And yeah, it's getting worse and worse. It's getting worse and worser and worser. And also about her dissatisfaction with him, with instead of Eugene planning a date night, she tell her daddy Eugene offered to get her a shower head so she could masturbate. She say she talk about everything with her daddy. I guess she do. And her dad feels that he didn't cheat. Her father says that, you know, he didn't cheat on Toya's mom. He said that Toya's dad said that he felt that he just needed someone else to comfort him because he wasn't getting comfort at home. Wow. So Toya has expressed that she had some trust issues in terms of her relationships with men, and it was really hard for her to connect with Eugene and trust Eugene, and that Eugene was a special kind of guy that got her to trust him because he was a special kind of guy. And her father had her participating in misleading, i.e. lying to the different women that he was dealing with. Like he'd have her take pictures down and put up somebody else's picture, and That don't sound that healthy. I could understand. So 9 years Toya and Eugene have been married. I didn't realize that. But that also, you know, 9 years is that's a chunk of time, and that's real talk, real stuff. So we see Quad arriving at Doc Simone's, and this is the North House. I didn't know at the time, but it is the North House. And Quad is big up in Cecil. Oh, Cecil, he was my sous chef. He's the best. He's the greatest. And Doc Simone is like, you know, Cecil has an image with some of you like he's so great, but he treating me bad. And everything in the marriage is my fault. So I was kind of like, well, okay, just, you know, say how you feel, Simone. Say how you feel. And then Quad in the interview is like, you know, she's shocked. You know, she always admired Cecil and Simone's marriage and looked to it as the rock of their group. And that goes back to this theme I was talking about before of in a group and how we look to other people's relationships as a signifier of something for us, which, you know, I was kind of surprised, like I told y'all when I was getting divorced the first time, how there were people who were really upset by it. And I was like, what did they have to do with it? And the way that they were invested in that it's a community event. And even when I got married the second time, I was just like, you know, I decided not to go to the Justice of the Peace, but to have a ceremony, because I started to realize that marriage is a community event, even though you think it's just between two people, that other people are invested, other people are watching, other people, you know, so I always pray and, you know, to be a model, you know, not just, you know, as a married couple, but, you know, as a person, you know, you just don't know who's looking at you and how you can be inspirational to them. And it's kind of like your role models, just like the famous people say, even when you don't want to be a role model, even when you're not trying to be a role model, you know, you don't know who's looking at you and what impact you're having on those people. So I don't know if it's healthy or not, or right or wrong, but I mean, that's Quad, you know, said that again. And then Quad goes on to say, you know, that she knows that marriage is hard, because she has problems, and she feels like Quad feels like Quad is taking on responsibility for everything in her relationship, even things that should not be her responsibility. And Doc Simone feels like, and I was kind of surprised when she said this in an interview, that Dr. G is not a team player. I was like, and it does sound like that could be a problem in like a marriage, a partnership. It's like a team type thing when you marry. I mean, I guess everybody negotiate their relationship different, but I'm kind of like, yeah, when I mean, part of what I have enjoyed about being married is the partnership aspect, the team player aspect. So, you know, I was kind of like, wow, you know, and Quad is like, you know, he does not show appreciation. He pays the mortgage, he says. If I offer him a check, you know, here's a check for the year, he won't take it. It's like he's trying to have something to hold over my head. And he feels, I think, like he got me. He got Quad and he doesn't have to do anything else. And he's wrong. And then Quad is crying and Simone is holding her. And it's kind of like, wow, that's kind of intense. And then we're at Doc Jackie's Fitney field day, and she's got her patients there and cancer survivors there. And then Doc Heavenly arrives, then Toya arrives. And last night, Doc Simone told Doc Jackie that she was on call. Then Quad arrives. Then Doc Contessa and Dr. Scott, Contessa's husband, arrives. I don't know what that is. It's like Lowell. I don't know what that is. Then Doc Heavenly got a string of Toya's. Dr. Heavenly is a comedian. She making a string of jokes about how big Toya's behind is. Toya's behind is so big. Toya's behind is so big. Toya's behind is. She didn't she have like 5 or 10 Toya's behind is so big jokes. She's kind of funny. And we find out that they've been friends for years. Heavenly, I love this event because it's wholesome, it's fun, it's fitness, and there's fresh fruit there. So I was really excited to see all these black people together doing the wholesome, fun, fresh fruit, fitness type thing. Heavenly takes Toya to the side after the event because she says she already knows that Dr. Jackie will kick you out of her event if you argue during her event. And we find out that Heavenly and Toya have been friends for 9 years. I didn't realize that. And you know, they're kind of having a conversation. Then Dr. Heavenly is calling Toya messy, and then Dr. Heavenly is leaving because she says she's done with the conversation because it's just going back and forth. And I'm like, that's what a conversation does, baby girl. It goes back and forth. But you know, anyway. Then we see Doc Jackie. She's kind of watching the escalation as Toya and Dr. Heavenly, like they come together, they come apart, they bring this person in, and it's kind of like an escalation of arguing. And then Contessa, speaking of grown woman stuff, Contessa says she takes full responsibility for what happened. You know, let's move on. It's all my fault. And Dr. Heavenly is like, you know, well, I'm going to accept her, you know, apology, but I'm giving her the side eye, and she's calling her Coon Tessa. I didn't like that. It didn't come across as good. I know Dr. Heavenly is like the jokester, and that's supposed to be funny, I guess. But Coon Tessa, then we see Dr. Jackie closing out the field day. On an up note, you know, she gives a little inspirational talk, and she talks publicly, you know, just about the fact that she's gone through stuff. She's going through stuff now, and it can be humiliating. She don't really get into the details, but she acknowledges what's real and what's going on. Then we see Doc Simone arriving at South House, and Cecil's there with the dog, and they kind of chit-chat, and, you know, I didn't really know where it was going, but yay, they have a video appointment with a doctor, Dr. Ken, a therapist. So they start having a therapy session. Yay! Help us, child. Help us. Y'all are, I wish y'all the best, but I really appreciate y'all modeling some things on the TV for us people about, you know, just, you know, some healthy ways to handle, you know, life and the ups and downs. So, I enjoyed this episode. You know, it was like I ended up taking a lot of notes. It was kind of like a lot. This is meaty, and it's kind of like I was thinking, wow, Married to Medicine. It's like this whole married thing is taking on a whole. You know, I just thought Married to Medicine, like I'm committed to being a doctor. I'm married to a doctor, and then let the drama and the BS begin. But they doing a whole thing, you know, so far they really kind of talking about this marriage thing and some of the challenges with it. So anyway, I'm Angela again. The channel is Be Fabulous You. Subscribe, like, comment, share. We're working on 200 subscribers. 200 subscribers. 200 subscribers. Today is the best day ever. You're number one. You're the greatest. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. And I am so excited that they did not do an episode on Thanksgiving. Are they going to do a new one on Sunday? Because I thought they was going to, on Friday. I thought they was going to do a new one yesterday, Friday, for Married to Medicine. But maybe they're going to do one Sunday. But I was just so happy to be able, it's like I'm caught up on Married to Medicine. I'm caught up on This Is Us. I got to do another edition of This Is Us. And then the next thing I'm going to tackle is The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I don't know, I wanted to get with Walking Dead, but it's like every week, another week is going by and I haven't gotten with it. And y'all know that's some serious watching Walking Dead. And I'm producing a show. I got, you know, a 5-month lead time, but, you know, I kind of got my hands a little full. So we'll see. We just gonna play it by ear on The Walking Dead. But the other stuff I can squeeze in. And I really want to watch, I thought I would get to this weekend, but we'll see. Is today Sunday or Saturday? I really wanted to watch She's Gotta Have It in review. But anyway, be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you.